Hello and welcome back to another mod showcase. Today we are doing Autumnity. And it's fall, so I thought this would be the appropriate time to do it, if you know what I mean. Because yeah, although we can't really go outside to enjoy the fall leaves and such, and not entirely, but you get to experience it digitally with this mod. So anyways, first I want to talk about the actual biomes. So the first biome we have here is a maple forest. Now these come with new trees called maple trees, and they come in different colors and variations along with different plants throughout the biome. So over here we actually have an autumn mountain biome, sort of? Kind of. I don't know why there's lava. That makes it look more ominous, but oh well. And then over here, where I kind of set up my showcase, to be honest, is a pumpkin fields biome, where several types of pumpkins as well as different variations of sizes grow here. So the first thing I actually want to go over is the maplewood. Now maplewood looks similar to acacia, although it is slightly more dull in color, so it's nice for a slightly more warm color and warm feel to it, instead of brightly, annoyingly orange, if that makes sense. Ha, annoying orange, fuck. So we have all the different variations of the maplewood, as well as the nice doors and trapdoor, as well as a sign, which, by the way, abnormal score is needed. So another cool thing that you can actually do with maple trees is that sometimes there's a rare chance that you might get sap as the stripped log, so sappy maple log, when you strip the bark off the maple tree. And what you can do with this sap is that you can actually bottle it and of course take it off the actual tree. And you get a sap bottle. Now you can actually take this sappy log and craft it into a four-sided log, sort of similar to how you would do with bark, but just that. So now what you actually do with the sap bottle is that when you take the sap bottle, you can actually craft it into sugar if you want to, but you can also cook it and you get syrup. Now what you do with this syrup, let's say it's maple syrup in the meantime, is that you can actually use it in a crafting recipe for a new food. And this type of food is pancake. Now this food is actually a stackable food, so we can have multiple pancakes. Now you can actually eat half a pancake each time, and it makes a nice little crunchy noise, but pancakes! These are for the pancake lovers out there. Shout out to my Discord. By the way, I have a Discord, link in the description. Oh yeah, and if you're enjoying the content so far, feel free to subscribe. I'm close to 1,000. It would be awesome if I can reach 1,000 by the end of October, or sometime by the end of 2020. I don't want to get too eager, but still, feel free to subscribe if you haven't. Anyways, you can also drink the syrup bottle. It's sort of similar to honey, and it stacks in 16 bottles. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that there are the maple leaves. So the maple leaves actually emit cool little leaf particles that occasionally fall down to the ground and stay on the ground once they land on the ground. Oh, there we go. See, those are the particles. Now these are the saplings. They come in 4 colors, so there's green, yellow, orange, red. And then there's a cool new block called a leaf carpet. Now you can craft leaf carpets with 2 leaf blocks and craft the carpet, but they naturally generate within these maple forests as well, and gives the floor a nice feel to it. A nice autumn feel. Fucking maple. Moving on, we have giant pumpkins. Now these guys, they appear in the pumpkin fields biome, but you can also craft the giant pumpkins, or let's say large pumpkin slices, using 4 normal pumpkins, and you'll get one of those slices. So what you can actually do with these slices is that once you take shears, you can shear them. Get a shit ton of seeds, to be honest, per pumpkin slice. And you can create giant jack-o'-lanterns, or just giant carved pumpkins. And then you can take the carved pumpkin, craft it with a torch, and you can create a large jack-o'-lantern slice, and that'll look like that for Halloween. It emits a lot of light, but it's very spooky. Oh yeah, these are what the insides of the block look like. This is without the seeds, this is with the seeds, of course. Now there's also a little flower called an autumn crocus, whatever. They generate here in these autumn biomes, and they craft magenta dye. I don't know if they're necessarily used for anything, maybe a suspicious stew. It's up for you to figure out. That's the one thing that I didn't research. Anyways, right here we have fowl berries. Now there used to be an actual food that you can craft these fowl berries with called fowlberry pie, but those are in older versions of the mod, so unfortunately they're no longer supported. No more fowlberry pie. Red. Now these fowlberry bushes, they generate within the forests, and you want to try to avoid these, because once you walk through them, you get poisoned, and that's not good whatsoever. But what's really weird is that bees are not affected by this poison, and so you can technically use them to pollinate these fowlberry bushes if you want. Now there's also some compatible stuff with Berry Good and Cork, where you can get pips for the fowlberries and then a sack of fowlberries. Now I think I'm going to do a showcase on Berry Good after I showcase like a couple more things, so then I can show you how exactly that mod works, because the mod by itself doesn't have too much content, but with other mods installed, there's a lot of content. What these fowlberries do, once you pick them, you'll get a couple fowlberries per part of the bush. But I want to show you an example of what they do, because once you eat them, they give you an effect called fowl taste. So what fowl taste does is that once you eat it, it'll give you like half a hunch of hunger once you eat the actual berry. Once you eat any other food rather than the berry with fowl taste on, so it'll give you 50% more of those haunches that the item that you ate was. For example, I ate that apple, and so it gave 50% of what an apple gives. So an apple gives 2 haunches, right? The fowl taste increases that, and so it'll give 1 extra haunch for that apple because that was 2, and so then that makes it 3 in total. So fowl taste is a good effect to have, to be honest. So some of the final things that we actually have over here all relate to a new mob in this mod called a snail. Now, the snail, of course, is a snail. It's abnormally a large snail. Abnormal, get it? I decided to name this snail Henry, because why not? Henry the snail. What a good snail. I appreciate you, Henry. Now the snail, he doesn't know who I am necessarily, and so once I go up to him, he hides in his little shell, unless I'm sneaking, in which shortly after we'll start moving it. Now Henry, I have no idea where you're going, but I have to show examples of what you do. So what Henry actually does is that once you feed him a mushroom, which actually he'll follow you if you're holding a mushroom in your hand. Once you feed him a mushroom of any kind, basically like a brown mushroom or a red mushroom, he'll start munching on it, and then he'll start producing this new weird block and item called snail slime, at least like 5 to 7 of these weird layers. And once you break them, you get a thing called snail slime, which is basically like a weird little orb of snail slime. I'm looking at you, Henry. Don't look away from me. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Gross freak. Sorry. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that, Henry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Are we still friends? I guess you need a little bit of time. That's okay. Now, what you can actually do with snail slime is it's really cool. You can craft a block of snail slime. This basically has like the same functionality when you're using it in conjunction with a piston, where it's like it doesn't stick to slime, or it doesn't stick to normal slime or honey blocks, for example. But it's different from honey blocks with the fact that it slows you down, along with the normal snail slime that isn't entirely the block, but you can actually jump a full block from it, so it won't keep you down. Now the weird functionality about it is that once you jump up and touch the bottom of the block, you actually hang on to it, and this will allow for some awesome hanging parkour that you can do. And so I'm just sticking to the block with my head, which makes no sense, but hey, that's how it works. Oh yeah, and the block negates fall damage. Now Henry over here, he can actually breed with another Henry, for example. So he's like an asexual being, ish. You breed snails using mushroom stew. And once you do that, it'll create a little baby snail. Oh, okay, so you can feed him mushroom stew to increase his growth. Now once a snail actually grows up though, once he grows up, he does that, and he drops a new item called a snail shell piece. And what you can do with these snail shell pieces is that if you have at least 8 of them, you can craft a new type of armor. It's similar to like a turtle shell, in that it's like a weird different thing or piece of armor that you get in the world that you can wear alternatively. But once you actually wear it, it'll not make snails afraid of you once you're in survival and you walk up to them. They won't hide in their shells. And once you crouch, it'll give you the resistance effect. Resistance 3 to be exact, as well as it plus 10 knockback resistance, which is insane. So quite a powerful piece of armor, although I'm not unsure about the durability. It might be a weak durability, but it's fine. And then some final things that are kind of weird about the snail is that if you feed them warped fungus or crimson fungus, it'll give them the speed effect and it'll be a speedy boy. Now you can actually name these guys to get special textures. One of them is in reference to the artist that we saw where changed the buffalo skin, and it changed it to a weird, creepy, purpley green texture with a strange face on it. So this is no longer Henry, at least the real Henry's over there. This is whoever you name it. And then the other one is in reference to upgrade aquatic. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be easy, but I'm not going to tell you straight off the bat. Like if you name the snail this name, it'll change the texture to this. Henry's over there vibing in the autumn crocuses. Wonderful. Oh yeah, so you want to also avoid putting snails in water because they'll sink and they'll actually drown, which kind of sucks. And they'll hide in their shell because they're afraid that they're going to drown, and so it's just like a cycle of impending doom. Okay, so I'm going to actually use some violent actions towards another Henry. Don't worry, this is like a clone of Henry. Real Henry's fine. He can make multiple clones of himself. So this Henry, he actually can get attacked. At least snails can get attacked by pillagers, which kind of is a reference to how in medieval paintings the knights are shown to be fighting giant snails, which are weird. Stop bullying Henry's clone. Screw you. And then another thing, which is really interesting, is that if you have a mooshroom in front of a snail, the snail will bite the mooshroom, basically tearing a piece of its flesh off, if you think about it. And it'll think it's a mushroom and produce some snail slime. Now you can use this in conjunction to just make a snail slime farm, because when the snail bites the Henry, stop. Henry's clone is a little bit dull. Now, you can actually use this in conjunction to make a snail farm, but what's cool about it is that when the Henry bites the mooshroom, it doesn't actually hurt the mooshroom. Now, what's also funny is that the mooshrooms actively run away from the snails, so you want to make sure that they're enclosed in a small space, as well as the fact that the snail will actually hunt down the mooshroom, which is funny. Alright, and then the final thing, which I kind of forgot the potion stuff in the last video, but this is a new potion effect. And what you do is you take snail slime, and you brew it into an awkward potion, of course, and you create a potion of extension. What a potion of extension does is that, let's say you have an effect on you. So I drink this effect, that's supposed to last 3 minutes, right? and the time is slowly going down. Now what Potion of Extension does is that regardless of how much time you have on there, it'll extend that time by like 20 seconds, I believe, or like 10 seconds, or 15 to 10 seconds. It'll increase that time. So if you have multiple of these, you can constantly increase the time that you have on there. Friendship with Boidle ended. Now I'm friends with. But yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the Autumnity mod, which is a nice little mod for the season, if it's fall, or if you just like fall vibes. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this showcase. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, if you like this content. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers at least before the end of 2020. Pretty fun. I can see that the snail over there is dying like an idiot. It's just gonna be stuck there, isn't it? Here, let me just pan the camera. There we go. Anyways, yeah. If you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. I hope you guys have a good day. Have a happy Halloween. I'll make a spooky video soon. Be on the lookout for that. Oh yeah, and if you want to, you can join my Discord, which is down in the description. Anyways, have a good day. Bye.